قال مسلم وأشباه ما ذكرنا من كلام أهل العلم في متهم رواة الحديث وإخبارهم عن معايبهم كثير، يطول كتابه بذكره على استقصائهم. وفيما ذكرنا كفاية لمن تفهم وعقل مذهب القوم فيما قالوا من ذلك وبينوا.
Okay, sorry. So as they saying that Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, there are many types of statements, right? By authoritative scholars about suspect reporters of hadith, specifying their weakness. However, it will make the kitab very, very long and lengthy if we have to go into detail about. So what we quote here is sufficient for those who wish to understand the reason and what has been said and explained.
وإنما ألزموا أنفسهم الكشف عن معايب رواة الحديث وناقل الأخبار، وأفتوا بذلك حين سئلوا لما فيه من عظيم الحظ. وإذ الأخبار في أمر الدين إنما تأتي بتحليله وتحريمه أو أمر أو نحي أو ترهيب. فإذا كان الراوي ليس بمعدن للصدق والأمانة ثم أقدم على الرواية عنه من قد عرفه ولم يبين ما فيه لغيره ممن جهل معرفته، كان آثما بفعله ذلك غاشا لعوام المسلمين، إذ لا يؤمن على بعض من سمع تلك الأخبار أن يستعملها أو يستعمل بعضها ولعلها أو أكثرها أكاذيب لا أصل لها، مع أن الأخبار الصحاحة من رواية الثقات وأهل القناعة أكثر من أن يضطر إلى نقل من ليس بثقة ولا مقنع.
وإنما ألزم أنفسهم كشفا عن معايب رواة الحديث. So these scholars, they have committed themselves to explaining the faults of hadith reporters and stated the reason for their rulings when questioned. Their point is that the matter is very serious. Reporters that are concerned with religion normally state what is permissible or forbidden, required or prohibited, and provide encouragement or give warnings. If the reporter is not a person of confirmed honesty and truth, and his report is then transmitted by someone who knows him well, without stating the reporter's faults to others who do not know him, then he commits a sin by doing so, and he cheats the Muslim community. Some of those who hear such reports may also use them, or some of them, and yet these reports may be fabrications or lies. Authentic statements narrated by a reliable and meticulous reporter are numerous, leaving no need to report from anyone who is unreliable and lacking such meticulousness.
ولا أحسب كثيرا ممن يعرف من الناس على ما وصفنا من هذه الأحاديث الضعيفة والأسانيد المجهولة، ويعتد بروايتها بعد معلومة بما فيها من التوهم والضعف، إلا أن الذي يحمله على روايتها والاعتداد بها إرادة التكفير بذلك عند الأوامر، ولأن يقال ما أكثر ما جمع فلان من الحديث وألف من الحديث، ومن ذهب في العلم هذا المذهب وسلك على هذه الطريقة فلا نصيب له فيه، وكان بأن يسمى جاهلا أولى من أن ينسب إلى العلم.
Okay, whoever tries to gather hadiths that are poor in authenticity and with chains of transmission that include unknown narrators, knowing that they are unauthentic, can only be motivated by a desire to gain a reputation among the public or the masses. Such people seek the praise of others, whereby they might refer to them as being rich in knowledge. So those people who you are seeking fame by, they might refer to this person as rich in knowledge, and that they had succeeded in gathering many great hadith. Whoever takes this way and opts for this method gains no knowledge of hadith. To describe him as ignorant is more appropriate than giving him any description of knowledge.
احتجاج بالحديث المعنعن إذا أمكن لقوم
What are you reading now? You don't have the spot. أقل تكلم بعض المتأهلين الحديث من أهل عصرنا صحيح أسانيد. Huh? That's what you're reading now. Okay, read from it. تكلم بعض.
وقد تكلم بعض من
Oh, I don't have. Not in a chapter about one thing.
من أهل عصرنا في تصحيح الأسانيد وسقيمها بقول لو ضربنا عن حكايته وذكر فساده صفحا لكان رأيا متينا ومذهبا صحيحا.
So they say that some some forges of hadith in our present time. No, like تكلم بعض المنتحلين حديث من أهل عصرنا. Say some forges of hadith in our time have spoken about judging chains of transmissions as sound or faulty. They have said, we want to completely ignore this without reporting it or mentioning its defects. This would be the right course to take. But there shouldn't be anything of jarh wa ta'adil. That's what they are saying. We should accept the hadith as it comes.
أراد أن يقول أحرى بإمامته وماله في قائله وأجدر أن لا يكون ذلك تنبيها للجهال عليه غير أن لما تخوفنا من شمول العواقب واغترار الجهلة بمحدثات الأمور وإسراعهم إلى اعتقاد خطأ المخطئين والأقوال الساقطة عند العلماء رأينا الكشف عن فساد قوله ورد مقالته بقدر ما يليق من الرد أجدى على الأنام وأحمد للعاقبة إن شاء الله.
So they say that so like turning away or ignoring a unsound statement is more likely to send it and its reporter into destruction. Thus, people of little knowledge will not be alerted to it. However, we fear evil consequences and that some people who lack awareness may be attracted by new inventions and be quick to believe in what is incorrect. And in statements that scholars consider unsound. So we feel that exposing the defects of such statements, and rejecting them as they should be suitably rejected is of greater benefit to the community and brings about better results, inshallah. Right? So they argument that this is necessary. You have to do it. Because prior they were saying that in many hadiths he was speaking about things that is halal and haram, right? So if you are fabricated hadith, someone that is lying in the hadith, if he's speaking about something that is halal and haram, him himself will be destroyed, right? Because making something halal that is haram or making something haram that is halal, the person that is falling into it will also be a problem. Right? So they are saying that instead of leaving it and not paying any attention to it, it would be better for the community, for the masses, would be to examine it and to mention it.
وزعم القائل الذي افتتحنا الكلام عن الحكاية عن قوله والإخبار عن سوء رويته أن كل إسناد لحديث فيه فلان عن فلان وقد أحاط العلم بأنهما قد كان في عصر واحد، وجائز أن يكون الحديث الذي رواه راوي عمن روى عنه قد سمعه منه وشافاه به، غير أنه لا نعلم له منه سماعا، ولم نجد في شيء من الروايات أنهما التقايا قط أو تشافها بحديث. أن الحجة لا تقوم عنده بكل خبر جاء هذا المجيء حتى يكون عنده العلم بأنهما قد اجتمعا من دهرهما مرة فصاعدا، أو تشافها بالحديث بينهما، أو يرد خبر فيه بيان اجتماعهما أو تلاقيهما مرة من دهرهما فما فوقها. فإن لم يكن عنده علم ذلك ولم تأتي رواية تخبر أن هذا الراوي عن صاحبه قد لقيه مرة وسمع منه شيئا ولم يكن في نقله خبر عنه علم ذلك، والأمر كما وصفنا حجة، وكان الخبر عنده موقوفا حتى يرد عليه سماعه منه لشيء من الحديث قل أو كثر في رواية مثل ما ورد. وهذا وهذا القول يرحمك الله في الطعن.
So they say that Zaman call, right? So the one they were quoting before, right, pointing out his wrong judgment, claims that every chain of transmission, which includes one person reporting from another, when we know that they were contemporaries, and that the latter might have actually heard, the one that is narrating from this person, he might have actually heard the hadith from him and might have received it directly from him. Yet we do not know for certain that he heard from him. Understand? Nor do we find in any report that they have ever met or spoken about hadith. Then any report that is given in this way does not provide strong evidence. Right? There must be confirmed knowledge that the two have met at least once, or that they exchange information, or that we must have a report that they met at least once in their lifetime. Without such knowledge or authentic report that this reporter met the one he reports from at least once and listened to him, then the report does not serve as evidence. It remains mawkuf. That's the word, right? It remains mawkuf.
يرد عليه سماعه منه شيء.
So until such information is received that the reporter actually listened to some hadith, however few or many, right, from the one he reports from. They say this view, which questions change of transmission, has no sound basis. It is without precedent, and no scholar of repute has endorsed such an idea. The fact is that the common view agreed by scholars of hadith and reports, which are old and contemporary scholars, is that every reliable person who reports from one who is equally reliable, and the two might have met and exchanged information because they were contemporary, is valid and may be cited as evidence, even though we have no report that actually met and discussed, no report that they actually met and discussed. Only if we have clear evidence that this reporter never met the one he reports from and never heard anything directly from him does the hadith so reported become unacceptable, and they may not be cited as evidence. If the matter remains possible and the meeting between them remains probable, then the report is taken as indicating that the reporter has heard from him who he is quoting. This is what is the shurut of Imam Muslim, right? Imkanul liqa, right? So he just says that there might just be a possibility, right, that they have met, right? Because he brought later on in this, he brings something, brings some, what does he bring? He brings an example. Who was it? It was one Sahabi narrating from his father, who narrates from Aisha radiallahu ta'ala. Alright. You see that he reports from her this hadith. However, if he says himself from his father, from Aisha radiallahu ta'ala, he doesn't say my father heard or I heard my father. Right? In the chain of narration, it doesn't come like that. Right? It comes an or whatever the case. Right? So he says that if you're going to take this ruling, right, then how will you accept that hadith? How will you, because he can be saying he narrates hadith from his father, other hadith. Right? In this specific chain, he doesn't say I heard my father. Right? So even though he's narrated other hadith from him, that isn't evidence, or that isn't enough evidence to say, according to that view, that he heard the specific hadith from his father. It could be that he heard it from somebody else that heard it from his father. And because he has narrated other hadith from his father, and this person is reliable, without going through this person, he goes straight to his father. Alright? This is also a possibility. Is that? What he's trying to say is that it doesn't have to be completely established, yes. Doesn't have to be completely established that the specific hadith this person heard specifically directly. Alright? If you know that they are both obviously sikha, and there's a possibility of them meeting, they were both into the hadith and hadith study, etc. Then to accept it would be fine. Right? Then he would give all his other conditions when not to accept. Allah knows best, inshallah. We always talk tomorrow. What is it? Tell me what you have in your kitab. Where is it? Where is it?